All right, let's go to David.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good. I woke up happy.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to have a Merry Christmas again, something you also support.
I do
Are
like
we wrong
Christmas.
on that to think that way?
I like Christmas, the holiday, if that's what you're asking.
And I feel like with Trump in office, it's going to be a Merry Christmas. At the abortion law, when the campaign ran for Kamala Harris, it's going to be at the state level. So I think part of the reason that a lot of her voters didn't show up is the educated voters knew that that's not something she was going to be able to change.
I mean, I think that she would have worked to reinstate reproductive rights and protect them. That's my stance on that. And I also think on the other side, I do believe in my core that they are going to erode reproductive rights as much as humanly possible in the next 4 years. I do believe that. So I think it's like a double whammy on that sense. And I don't think that abortion should be decided at the state level. I think that's crazy. And I think that women need the rights over their own bodies. And I understand that I, over-index in this issue. I understand that. It's very important to me. My platform is all about women. And also, like, to me, the idea that someone should have control over your body is deeply un-American. To me, that's deeply un-American. So I'm coming at it from a couple sides.
Got it. I get it. I feel like with federal, it's less that. But what I don't hear you talking about is the IVF that Trump was offering and how you feel about that. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty with his offering of free IVF?
I mean, that seems kind of wishy-washy. It's at odds with other things that he said. It's not consistent. And in Project 2025, they lay out that they want to have pregnancy registries and ban birth control. So, I mean, it's very hard to trust what he says. Obviously, I think IVF is a crucial component of healthcare. I'm hoping that it's protected, but I really have little reason to believe him at this point.
And gay rights, I feel like gays have rights. And I don't see that going away. I also believe that trans is a choice. You could be born with it, but to have operations is more likely a choice. And ultimately, it's a hard take, but I believe being gay is easy. And what I mean by that is...
You think being gay is easy in this country?
Let me explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
What I mean by that is if you look at when you're growing up, a lot of the times your best friend is either the same sex. You have a lot more to relate to. It's a lot less challenging. You think similarly. You have good times with each other. Now, when you start to explore an opposite sex relationship, you kind of have some complications. You think a little bit differently. You have different priorities, and that's a little bit more of a complication, almost like running a country where there's different points of views. So when I say being gay is easy, I mean being gay and being in love is easier with the same sex than it is with the opposite sex.
I don't really have a comment on that. I think for me, it's just so difficult to be a gay person in this country. There is so much homophobia that is rampant. I mean, gay people have only had the right to legally marry each other for what is it? 10 years? Less than, I mean, I don't know, but like that's in our lifetime, in our recent lifetime, they have been allowed to get married and have children. And I think that this office, that's coming into power, has been known to be deeply homophobic, and Trump is more and more getting with these super far right Christian nationalists, and they do want to erode gay rights and they do want to erode trans rights. I think that it's going to be a very scary time for gay and trans people. So they've only been able to get married for 9 years. Like, it's possible that could go to the state level as well, and people's marriages might not be valid based on where they travel. And I just think like they want to roll back that landmark case, and this erosion of rights is very frightening. That's I think where for me the fear is coming.
I hear the fear, but if we put money aside, if we just all lived in the woods together and you wanted harmonization, it's easier to connect with the same sex. Do you disagree with that?
No, I mean I agree that I get along with women. I mean, I think we're kind of talking about two different things here. I think you're talking about more of like a social level, perhaps. I'm not really sure, but
Exactly.
I'm talking about like a macro level of rights, which is what's at stake here.
And I don't believe any of those macro rights were removed when Trump was in office in 2016.
No, but they're going to be like this. They're saying.
Well, they weren't then. And then my last question, women's rights.
Yeah.
What rights at the president level are being removed? And did women struggle economically under Trump and men only thrived, or did women thrive as well?
I mean, you offered a kind of a social take, so now I'm going to offer one as well. I think that the Trump administration is representative of a hatred of women. Is he gone? He hung up? Okay. Well, you can't say I didn't ever have any alternative views on the show, so I hope that I mean it. I'm open to debate. If you disagree with me, I'm more than happy to debate you. I really don't shy away from these things. Okay, let's go to Anthony really quickly.
Hey, Tinx.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
I'm holding on. I mean, it was a disappointing result, and I have concerns. I wanted to call you because I'm not probably the demographic profile of your average listener. I'm a 67-year-old gay man, and I was listening today, and I heard David's comments, and I'm not sure what his information source is, but being gay is not easy by any stretch. And I come from a generation where you could be fired for being gay. You couldn't be open about anything. And it's a very different world today than it was when I was younger. When I was coming up, we had AIDS. We had a great deal of prejudice.
I know.
So
I know.
It's
I'm
it's
seriously
just,
I'm crying with you, Anthony, because I know. And I'm sorry to every gay person out there today.
Oh, it's okay. But we've endured. We've endured and we flourish.
Yeah.
And I also, the comments that I heard about when he was talking about abortion being a state's right, I just can't agree with that on any level. We're talking about women today that have fewer rights than their mothers had 50 years ago.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
And in terms of, we talk about abortion, but it's a bigger issue. It's healthcare for women.
Exactly.
Who hasn't heard and whose heart hasn't broken over that 18-year-old girl in Texas who was turned away by 3 emergency rooms and died?
Yeah.
No. How do we let this happen? And so I listen to those things, and I think we've gone beyond the pale on so many things.
Yeah.
We really have. But I appreciate the fact that you do give other views a voice, and that we are willing to listen. And politically, we've always had issues. That's been since the beginning of our country.
Right.
And that's what the country was based on. It's the hatred and the ugliness that is intolerable.
I agree.
And we have to move forward, which we will. And I was listening to Andy Cohen and John Hill earlier this morning. And, Andy was a very calm voice, and I give him a lot of credit for that. Also, as a senior citizen, we rely on Social Security and Medicare. I'm a middle-class guy.
Right.
And I'm thinking, my God, with Robert Kennedy in charge of health and Elon Musk in charge of government efficiency, what does the future look like? So it is hard to be optimistic, but all we can do is move forward.
Yeah. No, you're right. Thank you.
But
sorry.
I thank you for your honesty and your openness, and you're willing to listen to other points of view, because that is so important. We have to be able to have discourse without being ugly and without showing hate.
We must.
We have to find the common ground. I hope we can.
I hope we can. Thank you for your call. Sorry I got so emotional. I have a lot of gay friends, and I just thinking about how it is to be gay in this country, for him to say that it's easy, it's a hurtful thing that he said. And I just thank you for your call. You were very measured and thoughtful, and I appreciate you calling in. And I'm thinking,
well, I'm just your average retired CPA.
All right.
And I've spent a long time in human resources too, so I have the perspective from both sides.
Yeah.
But again, I appreciate all you do.
Thanks.
And even though I'm generationally a little different, again, there's a common bond for all of us.
There is. Thank you for your call and your measuredness.
Well, thank you. Stay strong.
Have a good one. Thanks. Bye. Ooh, that one got me. I think the straw that broke the camel's back. That sweet man just got me. You guys, that was one of the hardest shows, but I think it was one of the most important shows that I've ever done. And I mean what I say. I welcome other opinions. I want to find common ground. I will continue to fight for women and empower women. And to all the marginalized groups out there who are feeling really scared, I'm standing with you and I'm holding space for you. And I hope that as a community, we can move forward in a good and kind way. I think we're a community who can talk about tough issues. And I think that was illustrated today. And yeah, just be kind to yourselves today. Okay, guys, I love you.